Hey, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about verbs. What is a verb? What does a verb do and why do you need one? Let's find out. Verbs are the driving force behind any writing that you do. If you want to write a sentence, I know this much, you can't do it without a verb. And today, we're going to talk about two very specific types of verbs, the action verbs and the linking verbs. The majority of verbs that you deal with on a daily basis are called action verbs. Action verbs show motion or action in a sentence when someone or something is actually doing something. Can you guess what this poor cat is doing? Clearly this is an action. What if we tried this sentence? Johnny dinner last night. Well, of course, we know there's something about dinner and something about Johnny and something about last night, but do we know what happened last night? Could we really say what went on? Of course not. We don't have a verb. Without a verb, we don't know if Johnny ate dinner last night or if Johnny was dinner last night. It's a big difference, don't you think? Now, let's look at some action in the pool. This will be a fun one. Max swims every day. He loves to play in the pool. Swims and play are action verbs. Max is doing something in the pool, so we know that this is an action verb. If you're not sure if it's an action verb, ask yourself this. Is what's happening in the sentence something that a person or a thing could be doing? And if it is, then you have an action verb in your sentence. You got this one, right? Terrific. Now, let's drive on and talk about something else a verb can do. This part can be a bit confusing, but you'll get it with practice. Linking verbs don't really show action. Instead, they connect the subject of a verb to additional information about that subject. Clearly, you can't is something. You can, however, use is on or any form of the verb to be to connect your subject and more information. The words am, seem, were, has been, might have been, become, and be are all linking verbs. Let's look at this sentence. Ike is the captain of the ship. Can you find the verb in this sentence? Do you see an action? Is Ike doing anything in this sentence? Well, there is a verb, but there's not necessarily an action. In this case, it says, Ike is the captain of the ship. And is would be your linking verb. It links Ike to captain. As you can see, Ike and captain are the same person in this sentence. So is just tells you captain is another name for Ike. If you didn't get that one, you might want to replay this part of the video. It's a little tricky, but you will understand it. Just remember, any form of the verb be, am, were, has been, are being, might have been, things like that. Become and seem, those words will always be linking verbs in your sentence. But don't be fooled. You have a list of verbs with multiple personalities. Appear, look, feel, grow, sound, taste, and many others. Can be action verbs, but they could also be linking verbs. So you have to watch out for those. And there are many others on that list, don't forget. Check it out. Chris tasted the honey-roasted grasshopper. The grasshopper tasted good. Now in one of these sentences, tasted is an action verb, but in the other, it's a linking verb. Can you tell the difference? Let's try this for a minute just to make sure you get it. Look at this sentence. Buddy Baker blank a great race car driver. Well, Buddy Baker was a great race car driver. That works. So was is a linking, isn't it? Buddy Baker is a great race car driver. Again, that one works. Buddy Baker seems to be a great race car driver. Still with me? Buddy Baker looks like a great race car driver. Yep, that one works too, doesn't it? But what if I said Buddy Baker runs a great race car driver? That one doesn't work now, does it? Alright, so now we're back to Chris. Chris tasted the crunchy honey roasted grasshopper. Is tasted an action verb or a linking verb? Write it down in your paper and bring it to class tomorrow. I think you're going to understand it now, but we'll see. Would you like to know how I can tell the difference? Well, I can tell you. But you have to be able to keep a secret. Don't tell your friends. It's too good to share. This is really a pretty easy one if you want to know the truth. Here's the key to the whole thing. It's really pretty simple. If you could replace the verb with am, are, or is, well, then what you have is a linking verb. Remember the sentence, the grasshopper tasted good? Certainly you could put in there, the grasshopper is good, right? So that means that tasted is a linking verb in that sentence. In the sentence, Chris tasted the grasshopper, you wouldn't want to say Chris is the grasshopper. So there, it's an action verb. If you can remember this test, replace the verb with am, are, or is. If the sentence still works, what you have is a linking verb. Got it? There's a lot more we could say about verbs, but you've done a great job today. Verbs drive every sentence, so make sure your license is up to date. See you next time.